everybody. It's Jamie from Play to Learn Preschool. Thank you for joining me today. I am here to share with you a few of our favorite books that we read when we are studying crickets. Like yesterday, I shared some suggestions for how to get living specimens in your classroom to study during an insects unit. And the easiest one to get is crickets. It's the one that we always start with when we're observing insects and noticing their 6 legs and their antennae and their body parts. And so I have 3 books to share with you that are perfect to read on that day that you introduce crickets to your class. So here's my little jar of crickets. I have 6 in here, and I put a little piece of lettuce sort of as a shelter for them, and then I also read that they like to eat it a little bit, so we put some lettuce in there for them. And we also still have some of the cricket food that I got at the pet store, but these crickets were less than 10 cents a piece, and we have them for about 5 days to observe. So if you have the same group of students, you probably want to let them go the day after you observe them. But I have 2 different groups of students, so I needed to keep them for Monday and Thursday so that both of my groups of students can see the crickets. Crickets are, like I said, a really easy insect. They're readily available and they're cheap, so that they're the perfect insect if you'd like to just observe a few in your classroom. Here are 3 of our favorite books to read about crickets. I have them in order from the easiest for your youngest kids to the hardest for maybe your pre-K or your after-school kids if you've got older kids. So I left Amazon links for these books up in the video description, but definitely check out your children's library. Ask the children's librarian if they have them available. I always scour used book sales and try to find things that fit in with the themes and the units of study that we're doing each year. So here are a few of my favorites. This one is called Little Cricket's Song. I'll flip it around so that when I'm reading the book, it's right. How's that? That'll make it better for you guys, right? So that the words are not backwards. Let's see if I can do this. Aha, there we go. Little Cricket's Song. And this is a great book. It's short and sweet, perfect for your 2 and 3-year-olds. It is interactive. These little buttons on the front click. They both do. And it rhymes. So I love a good rhyming book. They're so easy and fun to read. It's called Little Cricket's Song. It says, "The sun always sets to the sound of a song. It makes the bugs dance as they all sing along. With tippity-tappity clickety-clickets. It's bumpy and jumpy, the song of the crickets." I always invite the students, to come up. I'll pick 2 of them at each page so that they can push the buttons. Can you see that? "Can I learn to sing?" asked the sweet little cricket. "Of course," said his mom. "Just go clickety-clicket." As curious birds gathered round in a flock, the quick little cricket sang clickety-clock. So it's a cute little rhyming book, and it's one of those, there's a whole series of these books that have the raised portions at the front, but I love this one because it makes noise. So cute. It's perfect for 2 and 3-year-olds because they can interact with it, and it's quick. It's like a 3-minute book, right? So I love Little Cricket Song. Whoop, whoop. It's a really good one when you're studying crickets. Okay, here are 2 more. The second book, I'm sure, is the first one that you thought of when I said, do you know any good cricket books? Because really, who has a whole collection of cricket books? But The Very Quiet Cricket by Eric Carle is the perfect preschool book. All of Eric Carle's books are perfect for preschoolers. And of course, in an insect unit, you could just read Eric Carle every day, right? The Very Quiet Cricket has Eric Carle's signature repeating refrain on each page, which, if you've watched any of my other videos about incorporating strategies during reading for preschoolers to get them involved and to work on their comprehension, a repeated refrain is a great way to get them to kind of read along with you. So each page has the same 2 lines. And when we're reading it, I always say to the kids, can you read this part with me together? Kind of like this. Are you familiar with the story about the very quiet cricket, the cricket who doesn't know how to make his little chirping sound? I'll just read a couple of pages to show you what it's like. It says, "One warm day, from a tiny egg, a little cricket was born. 'Welcome,' chirped the big cricket, rubbing his wings together." Here's the repeated part. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened, not a sound. And so then all of the kids will say together, but nothing happened, not a sound. And then the little cricket sees lots of different animals on his journey. Good morning, whizzed a locust, spinning through the air. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened, not a sound. Hello, whispered a praying mantis, scraping its huge front legs together. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. And then all the kids say, but nothing happened, not a sound. It goes like this. This is the read-along book, like the young reader's version. There is, of course, a hardback book that on the last page when you open it, he finally learns to make his cricket sound. Mine, the battery broke, and then, anyway, it's in disrepair. So I like to read this one to my students, The Very Quiet Cricket. Of course, at the end, are you familiar with this? He finds another cricket, and she too was a very quiet cricket. So he rubbed his wings together one more time. And this time he chirped the most beautiful sound that she had ever heard. And we can talk about how in the insect world, only the boy crickets can make noise, and they do it by rubbing their wings together. The girl crickets don't make any noise. Isn't that interesting? Only the boys make noise, trying to find a girlfriend, I'll tell them. Trying to find a friend, to attract a friend. So The Very Quiet Cricket is, of course, the quintessential perfect book for learning about crickets. If you have older kids, 5-year-olds, like I have a group of students and they're going to be starting kindergarten in August. So they're mostly 5, some of them are like 5.5, and they're totally into insects. They've been saying things like, I'm an entomologist, and talking about molting and metamorphosis, like their hook, line, and sinker, totally into this unit. Then a book like this, Chirping Crickets by Melvin Berger, is the perfect book for them because it really dives into more facts about crickets. It is not sing-songy like the little cricket song. It doesn't have a repeated refrain like The Very Quiet Cricket. But for kids who are a little bit older and their attention span is a little bit longer, this is a good book to read with them. In this story, it talks about how the crickets make their noise. So it's a fact book, a nonfiction book, but it has some really beautiful illustrations in it. It says it's late in the summer. The day is nearly over. The sun hangs low in the sky. Listen, the crickets are loudly chirping. And it just kind of goes through and talks about it's the male crickets that you hear in all the places where you can find crickets. And they have a suggestion in here that you can teach kids to make a cricket sound, which I love this idea, especially when you're reading kind of a more hard, like a more hardcore book, something with a little bit more content. Then I like to give the kids something to do along with it so that they're involved, because otherwise they can sort of check out. And our goal is to always keep them interested in what we're reading, to keep them participating and keep their minds thinking about the content that we're reading. So for reading a book like Chirping Crickets, I might give each kid an index card and a nail file, and they can actually make their own cricket sound. Listen. So we just tell them you kind of like hold it. And you can make your own little cricket sound as we read. I'll just, stop on a page. Do you hear any crickets? And they can make their own cricket sound. So this is a fun way, and it's a cheap way, just to give them an index card and a nail file, and they can make their own cricket sound as you read the book. I hope that those 3 ideas were a little bit helpful for you as you're thinking about planning out your insects unit. And if you do decide to observe crickets in your classroom, those 3 books would be perfect to read during story time on those days. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It was so good to see you. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm hoping to share with you some ladybug books, a few of our favorite ladybug books. Of course, I have some good caterpillar books. I just have a whole lineup of things that I'd love to share with you that have to do with the insects unit. If you have questions or if you have other ideas for an insects unit, leave them in the comments, and hopefully we can share with each other. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's so good to see all your comments. Have fun playing and learning with your kids, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Uh-oh, I said bye-bye, and then I don't know how to turn it off from this screen with the... Hold on. There you go. Bye, everybody.